Right.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is David Silvani, your host, standing in for Penn Powers for Take Two Radio Soaps in Review. And we have Candace, Will.
Hi. Hi.
Can you guys hear me? And Anthony is around here somewhere. And Anthony is here someplace. I don't know why it says his call dropped. Let me see. Anthony, you there yet?
You kicked me off.
I put you on hold. It said you dropped before I did that, so are you there?
Oh,
okay, everyone's here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. All right, let's get this.
So tonight,
let's get this show on the road. So
we're all together. We're all together.
Welcome back, Anthony.
To greet actor Brett Chapin, and I think that's him on the line. Let me see. I'm a little nervous, so don't bear with me. Brett, is that you?
It's me. I'm here. Hello.
Welcome to Take Two Radio.
This is David. It's nice to meet you.
Hola,
hey,
Brett.
David. Nice to meet you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're so welcome. So, what we have for you for the meantime, we got questions for you, and I hope you're ready to answer them.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. I'm going to start
I'm ready.
off.
Let's do it.
All right. So, what was your first exposure to the daytime drama genre, and how did it affect you on a personal level?
Good question. The first time that my first experience with daytime drama was growing up. As a kid, I used to watch The Young and the Restless with my mom every day, and we would record it on the VCR, and I would come home from school, and I would watch it in the afternoon with my mom, and just all those characters and seeing actors that were younger actors, especially up there on the screen, really inspired me to pursue acting myself. So I think it affected me on a personal level in so far as just seeing that it could be done, and seeing it could be done by younger people, and seeing it, just great acting on the screen really inspired me.
So number 2, we go back, because I do remember you recently. So number 2, if you were one of the powers that be at General Hospital, what would you create for your character Roger Barstow?
Well, I definitely they're very creative, talented writers over there, so I would leave it to them to create something. As far as Roger Barstow goes, right now he's passed on beyond us. He's dead.
On.
Now, if I was wanting to bring him back to life in some capacity, that would be wonderful. But right now, he got knocked out over the head by an intruder and then was gassed by poisonous gas. So he's having some problems right now.
Well,
he could be on ice somewhere, waiting for for a transfusion or something.
Yeah, it is soap operas. You never know.
These days.
I think it would be interesting though to bring him back if they could in some capacity, just to help out the situation that's going on with Trina and the whole Spencer thing. And I don't know if he could in some way, because he used to work for the records office, which was, of course, we found out later, run by Victor Cassadine. But if there was some way he could come back and help out in that situation, that would be wonderful.
I'd welcome him back. That would be awesome. We need more.
It was a lot of fun playing him.
I think you were a little short-lived there.
Well, from your mouth to the writer's ears. But anytime I've worked on that show, I've just had such a great time. I have been brought back since playing Roger Barstow. I've been brought back and worked about 10 episodes. We worked one on this week, actually on Monday. And there's some really good stuff coming up on the show. I think you guys are going to really like it.
Oh, really? Well, I look forward to it. We're all GH fans here and there.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for answering my question. It's very nice. Willie,
you're welcome.
Next.
Okay, yes. Hola, Brett. This is Willie Partywill. It's such a treat to interview you today.
Hey, Willie. Thanks for having me on the show.
Okay, here's my first set of questions. What was it like during doing Hitchcock in 2012 as a Hitchcock fan?
Oh, Hitchcock was so much fun. We worked on that for about 2 weeks. It was nighttime shoots, so they were all overnights out there kind of in the cold sometimes. And just, Hitchcock is such an amazing, amazing director, and Anthony Hopkins did such a phenomenal job in the film, I thought. So just being able to be there and around that energy and getting to meet Mr. Hopkins was a real treat.
Awesome. I like that. What other exciting projects do you see yourself involved in within the next 2 years?
I would love to work on something as a series regular in the next couple of years, whether it be drama, whether it be comedy. Having a steady gig is sometimes a difficult thing to find for an actor, so I think just having that steady work as a series regular would be really nice. And if I could pick it would be on General Hospital, obviously, but I got to take the opportunities as they come.
Thank you for answering my questions, and I could see you being on a primetime series like Big Sky on ABC.
Like which one?
Oh yeah,
Big Sky.
Like Six Guys?
Big Sky.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I would love to work that show.
Or even the new Alaska. That's
been a great pick for ABC. I think they made a phenomenal pick with that one. And, I would get to travel to Alaska to film, so that would be really fun.
Yeah, and working with Hilary Swank.
Yeah, she's so incredible. She just, she gives you a look, and it says 1,000 words. She's very talented.
All right, Candace is up, right?
Well, Candace is up.
Thank you, Will.
Okay, so Brett, you should know the sound of this voice since I talk to you all the time on Twitter Space.
Hey, Candace.
Hey, how
Good to talk
are
to you. Oh, you run so many Twitter Spaces all the time. You're working so hard out there.
Don't don't tell everybody that I do a lot of twists. I only do maybe 1 or 2 or 3 at the most. I have to do one soon, so I'll let you know when I do one.
Yeah, let me know. I love coming on there and talking to you guys. You're great.
Okay, so I have 2 questions. I feel like I've the first one, you said it when we was on Twitter Space, but I want to know, what has social media taught you in the last couple of weeks? This was a homework question too, because you've now been exposed a little bit more on social media, including Twitter Space.
Right.
So what have you noticed about social media?
Well, let me tell you about the General Hospital fans. So social media has been a really great tool, I think, for fans to get together and talk about different shows they enjoy, what they enjoy about the show, what they don't like, and have great conversations about it. That we weren't able to do this, 30 years ago. The General Hospital fans and soap opera fans in general, I think, are the most committed, loyal, loving, wonderful, sometimes occasionally judgmental, but they are so loyal, and they know every little thing about the show, from what people were wearing to where they were standing. It's really great. So the love and support that I've seen in Twitter Spaces and on social media from the fans has just been phenomenal. And being new to the genre, being new to working on the genre for only the last couple of years, it's been a real treat to get to know the fans and talk to them and see how involved they are in the show.
Okay.
And they even remember the moss in the kitchen.
Yeah, the moss in the kitchen. They'll remember, certain music beats. Okay, so Brett, you passed that test. So I don't have to. Yeah, that made sense. So I don't have to ask that question again. I'm so proud of you for learning that. I'm so proud. That's a truth. Okay. Because I think I actually talked about it during Twitter Space. I'm like, I'm kind of like the fans, yeah, you're right. We are judgmental, but at the same time, I would say most of the soap fans, very positive. Especially with the genre, because there's a lot of, and I always said this, and you've heard me say it, there's a dark cloud over this genre for some apparent reason. But when you have positive fans who are just talking about the positivity, everything is not perfect. We know this. But when you have a community that actually talks about it in a positive light, and you see the friendships that's grown from it, and every night is a different party, especially on Twitter Space. Karaoke, Brett, we're gonna do karaoke on Twitter Space. We're gonna do karaoke.
That'd be fun. Why not?
Yeah,
what do anything you want on Twitter Spaces? That's great.
Okay, we're gonna do. Okay, but, you heard that here, folks.
But with the fans, But with the fans too, it's all like, even when it is judgmental, we know it comes from just feeling so passionate about the show, and so it comes from a good space. Yeah. It's just occasionally it can be a little much, but I think that there's just so much passion that people feel for the show that it comes out in that way occasionally.
Exactly. So the second
and I don't think we as actors can get. Well, I don't think we as actors can take those kind of things personally either.
Right. Because you have to, and that's something that I think a lot of people have to learn, is that with social media, you can either take it with a grain of salt, or just kind of turn around and not pay attention to it. Like, seriously, you can walk away from it.
I mean, if I paid attention to... I mean, as an actor in general, with all the auditioning and rejection and all the things that come with it, if I paid attention to all that, I would have quit a long time ago. Right.
You have to have thick skin, like legit thick skin. If you can take it, that's a credit to you. That's a strength. And like you said, some people can't take that, and they will quit. They would actually quit something that they love because of all the judgment, calls here and there, and Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's tough.
You know, you get 100 no's before you get a yes sometimes, and it can be frustrating. But if you have thick skin, you can be successful.
Mhm. And that goes into my second question. If you could go back 20 years ago with the knowledge you have now and talk to your younger self, what would you tell them? What would you tell your younger self? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, if I could, you know, I was really gung-ho when I was young. I thought that everything was going to happen right away and that I would be, you know, on a hit sitcom by the time I was 15. And, you know, it just doesn't work that way. It's a marathon. It's not a race. It's a long game. And it takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness. So I think I would tell my younger self just to slow down a little bit and breathe and relax, be patient, and realize that it's going to take some time and some work. And there's a lot of steps that you're going to have to take before you even get your first job. So, yeah, I would definitely tell my younger self to stress a little bit less and just enjoy the ride. Because I think in some ways, I think I might have been in a bit of a hurry and not enjoying the moment at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I think I would have told myself to enjoy those memories.
Yeah, I think that's something that we all can take to heart, is that slow down, because if you try to rush everything, you're going to miss those moments that you're going to really appreciate, you know. And you hear that all the time, how people, it's funny because, and I know we have to keep going with other questions, but it's just funny how people want everything now, instead of understanding, okay, there's a process. Because without the steps, whatever your goal is, you're not going to enjoy it as much as you did if you worked really hard, like you did all those steps. Like, it may have taken years, months, days, hours, blood, sweat, tears, a pound here or there, and stuff like that. But all of that adds up to how you're going to feel when you accomplish that moment. Whether it's getting that big, sitcom, or, doing a podcast, or doing something, like accomplishing a science project,
Yes.
And so I agree with you 110%, and I hope our listeners out there also took that to heart, wrote it down, put it on a sticky note. That sticky note still exists. And every day wake up and read that. It's like, do not miss a step, because if you do, you're not fully going to enjoy it.
It's great advice, and it applies to acting. It applies to life, and I think that's also. I love social media. I wouldn't ever want to not have it, but I think that's a little bit of the downside of social media, is that we're taught to have instant gratification. We get these 30-second clips, 60-second clips, and so it tends to drive us to think that applies to everything in life, and it doesn't. So that's kind of the downside that comes with all the positive of social media.
I agree with you with that. So, all right, I'm going to pass it on to my next co-host here to ask you some questions, but we will talk later, Brett.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Candace. Talk to you soon.
Take it, Anthony.
Well, hey, Brett, I'm Anthony. I'm the cleanup. The cleanup out of here.
Hey, Anthony.
And I'm going to cheat, and they're used to it. I have a few questions. And you mentioned The Young and the Restless. So for our Young and Restless fans out there who would spank us if we didn't ask, what storylines, characters, what really stood out to you? What do you still remember to this day?
Oh, my gosh, the whole David Nina storyline. With Cricket and Danny.
Oh, wow.
That was, I followed that every day religiously, and it was, that was a pretty big one. I also have gotten to know, on a personal level, a bit, Stephen Gregory, who played Chase Benson during that time. Great guy, great actor.
Yeah.
let's see, what else was going on around that time? Oh, the Ryan Victoria storyline was pretty interesting
my favorite.
around then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, a funny story about Heather Tom, who played Victoria at that time. One of my jobs in LA was I used to do catering for different houses and private events. And one Thanksgiving, I took a job, and it ended up being with her at her family's house. So I got to celebrate Thanksgiving with the Toms. So that was a really great, unexpected twist. And I got to tell Heather that, thank you for being such an inspiration to me when I was young. So that was a real treat.
Sidebar, do you ever watch her on Bold and Beautiful?
I have. She's great. She's
incredible. Yeah. So, second question.
And her sister, too.
Yeah.
It was on The Nanny.
Yep. And her brother as well. Yeah.
He was Billy on Blind Iron, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing family.
So my second question to you is, and it doesn't have to be a soap opera performance, but if it happens to be one, that's great. If there's one or two performances that when you watched it, you said to yourself, if I can do that or something akin to that, I'll know I've got it. I'm it. I'm there. What would they be?
The one that comes to mind right away is Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon. I loved that movie, and he did a phenomenal job. Also, when I saw West Side Story, that I think that was the film that really sent me in the direction of wanting to be an actor. Just seeing Tony and Maria getting up there and singing, doing their thing was great. As far as soap opera performances go, I was always really a big fan of Jerry Douglas, who was on Young and the Restless.
Oh, Patriarch of the Abyss. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And Jean Cooper, of course, you can't beat her. I loved Danny Romalotti. He was kind of a younger, cool, hip guy that I kind of emulated when I was young. Yeah, there's some really, really good underrated performances, I think, in soap opera that kind of fly under the radar. But so much talent in that genre.
So I have two more questions for you. One, obviously, if you were to come back on GH as Roger, it would be that soap opera trope. But is there one, evil twin back from the dead, switching babies, putting on a mask and pretending to be someone else for a couple of months? Is there one soap opera trope that you really love to play? Yeah,
I kind of tend to enjoy playing the bad guy parts. Those are a lot of fun, and I tend to get cast that way. So doing something that's a little bit outside the box, a little bit on the edge, would be something that I would be interested in. Is that what you mean when you say trope?
Yeah. No, absolutely. For me personally, I would love to play, the Ryan Chamberlain, the evil twin, good twin, and we take each other's lives at one point, et cetera. I would go nuts to play something like that. The last question I have for you is more of a technical question. Could you walk us through, a day player perspective, coming to a soap, specifically GH, but coming to soap as, to GH as a day player, what is that day like? What does it feel like? And what are some of the, the tick-offs on the checklist that you have to do as a day player?
Yeah, well, when you get there, you check in and you check in with the stage managers. You go to wardrobe and they give you your wardrobe and take care of that. If you need hair and makeup, you go through that deal, and then it's a bit of waiting. You're sitting in a dressing room and waiting for your scene to be called. They call it over the loudspeaker, and you kind of go upstairs. The building itself is a bit of a maze. It's kind of a maze of hallways, so it can be a little confusing on your first day. But yeah, you go up there and you film, and everybody is just so professional, and they're a finely tuned machine. You know, they've been doing it since literally the Kennedy administration, so they know what they're doing. And soap operas are very different from other types of genres because you're shooting so quickly. You're shooting 100-plus pages a day. With film and television, you're only doing maybe 2 or 3. So it's a very fast-paced environment, only a couple of takes to get it right. And, you know, people film their scenes and then they're done for the day. But it's really a warm, loving environment, and I don't just say that to be another actor giving a compliment. Like, they really do seem like the type of people that want you to succeed, and they care about your success. They're very nurturing. Everyone's very kind there. My first day I was a little lost in the hallway, and Eden McCoy kind of sent me in the right direction without even really knowing who I was. So it's just a really great environment to work in.
Is there anyone that, you know, you've walked out of the studio and said, you know, wow, I could be friends with this person? Or have you become friends with anyone from the show?
You know, my first day there, Brianna Nicole Henry was so kind to me and just very warm. And so I've gotten to be friendly with her. Donnell Turner, I've talked to a couple times. Riel Andrews has been a real great and a real inspiration. Yeah, just getting to know them also on social media has been interesting because it makes them, social media kind of makes actors real people, and you can really see their personalities. So that's been great. And of course, awesome. Maurice Bernard is my personal hero. The guy's amazing, and he does the show State of Mind, and just a great actor.
Yes, we love State of Mind here on Take Two Radio. Those are my questions. Thank you so much, and I look forward to whatever it is you're playing. I look forward to the new ones you're going to bring to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving us your time tonight. You've been so welcoming.
I appreciate it, guys, and thank you for everything that you do on Blog Talk Radio. I know you're working hard out there all the time talking to all kinds of entertainers, so we appreciate you.
Well, I'm going to do a quick little plug. Our Candace is one of the forces behind a great drama out there, Forever and a Day. So maybe maybe there's a little walk-on day player kind of thing for you in Forever and a Day.
Hey, Candace, you know how to find me.
I know how to find you.
We all love each other here.
I'm like, okay, and that's kind of funny. I'll talk to you later, Brett, about that.
Yeah, like no pressure, Candace, but you know.
Yeah, no pressure at all. No, like nothing. Like, look, I already have something for Anthony. Like, Anthony keeps thinking I forgot about him because he put it out there, and I'm like, okay, I'm literally writing 2 scripts as we're speaking and getting ready to do a recording. So it's like I have both of you guys. So there you go. So coming soon to Forever and a Day is these 2 guys. There you go.
When do you have time to speak?
Candace, write us both as super villains that are absolutely hilarious.
You guys want to be, okay.
You know,
and
perfect. We'll be partners in crime.
Wait, and here's the thing, Brett. I heard that question, like, when do I have time to sleep? I don't know.
I know. You're doing so much. You're doing the blog. You're doing this. You're doing the Twitter Spaces, and you're writing things.
I'm doing Twitter Space. I'm doing writing. I'm now doing YouTube. I'm like...
And she's a full-time teacher. I want to be Candace when I grow up.
But I'm on vacation this week. See, I'm on vacation this week, so I get to do a little bit more. So,
but you're not even on vacation because you're doing soap opera stuff.
I'm loving doing this. Like, you know how I am about this genre. Like, look, here's the thing. If I was in the hospital, which I've done this, I literally was strapped to an IV, and I still did a podcast. That's crazy, but I did it.
That doesn't surprise me in the least. That doesn't surprise me at all. I could see that.
You know what, Brett? For a little bit of fun. No, go ahead.
See, and Ken, if you're a perfect example of the fans that I'm talking about, like you guys are just so committed and so just loyal.
No,
it's
Brett,
amazing.
Brett,
I don't see this in other genres.
No, Brett, I would say thank you, but I'm even going to call it out. That was crazy for what I did. That was just like, you're crazy. Like, okay, Candace, you're in the hospital, honey. You got an IV in your arm. Why are you doing the podcast? I don't know. I just didn't want to be in the hospital. I was hoping that you would say, Candace, you can leave now. No, I was bored. I remember that day. I remember that day as if it was like yesterday. But, yeah. I mean, but I was still, I was committed. I was committed.
Well, it probably distracted you from what was going on in the hospital. So in that way, maybe it was good.
No,
Good try, Brett.
You got to take care of yourself. I don't know how the nurses were even letting you do that. That's funny.
Because I was in the room. I was like, they was like, wait here while we get the doctor. Like I was admitted to the room. I had to stay overnight, and I was like, I was like, can I go home now? And then I was like, well, clearly that I'm not going to be seen tonight. So I was like, let me just go ahead and call into the podcast. Hi, guys. So let's talk about General Hospital. In the back, they're hearing, they did hear, Candace, why do it sound like you're actually at General Hospital? Oh, yeah, I'm at the hospital.
Oh, my gosh. And, you know you would probably do it again.
Before you slide up out of here.
No. Yeah.
Come on, girl. You know
so funny.
Honey, you'd be on life support, and they would say, we have an interview with Maura West, and you'd be like, okay, I'm there. Don't worry about it.
They'd be like, Claire, Mark, a quick question. How did you feel? Claire, how did you feel about the scene with Ava Jerome? And I would say, Claire, yeah, okay.
I could see it happening.
Before you slide up out of here, what is your guilty pleasure? Let's go TV-wise and then just like hobby life-wise. You know, are you a Lifetime junkie? Do you love Hallmark? Do you like the Deadliest Catch? What's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, my guilty pleasure. Gosh. You know, I really like the old – this is going to sound dumb, but I like the old kind of late 90s Lifetime movies that they used to do back in the day.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they were just a little bit, they were just a little different back then. I don't know how to describe it, but I love them. And
it
Lifetime.
Wasn't the same plot. It wasn't the same plot over and over again.
Right. And I think the names were more creative too. It wasn't telling you exactly what's happening in the story in the title.
Yeah, like don't tell Mom danger is coming, or what was it? The long road home. I'm like, okay, I still don't get why they would call that the long road home, but then I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. She was kidnapped. Okay, she ran away. Got it.
I worked on one with Avery Pohl called My Daughter's Psycho Best Friend. Just telling you exactly what's happening in the show, in the title. It's very funny.
I'm wondering exactly which part Avery's playing.
Okay.
I know. What was that? You had another part to your question too. I'm sorry. What was that second part?
I mean, how about life? Are you a pool junkie? Do you like the beach, surf? What's your guilty pleasure in life?
Oh, well, I'm doing something kind of fun right now. Is I'm trying to run 1,000 miles in 2022. So I'm about 650 miles in right now. I'm kind of behind where I need to be, but I've been trying to hit up some of the soap opera actors to see if they can run the last few miles with me in December. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I love running, exercise, fitness, and just watching movies, all that kind of good stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. If you could say anything to your fans, what would you want to tell them? Oh,
just thank you guys. I would not. I'm not under the impression that I'm doing this for any other reason except for that I'm able to continue doing this for any other reason other than the fans that have been so supportive and wonderful. So I would say thank you. Keep watching. And we'll see where we go from here. There's a lot of good stuff coming up in the future.
Well, when you get that contract on GH or, The Young and the Restless, will you come back and talk to us again?
Absolutely. Well, from your mouth to their ears. I would love to.
A lot of magic happens from Take Two Radio. Guys, tell them.
Yep.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Candace is dropped. Her phone died.
Oh, no.
And, she said she wanted to give you her best, Brett. And you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being so loyal to the genre.
Fun. It was so much fun. And I really can't wait to see how they brought you back again. This is going to be awesome. You've been a sort of informant, a lawyer, and let's see where you are now.
Watch on, I think my episode airs November 6th, so keep watching.
All right. Have a good night, man. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You guys have a good night, too. Take care.
Too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was a great interview. They all are. We get some really good and fun, moments with our actors and actresses. But, we are running a show, and the show does have a format. So
there she is. She's back.
Let's go to – oh, there she is. But let's go to Mr. Willie. Mr. Willie, what show do you want to talk about first?
Hi, honey.
Let's talk about Young and the Restless. There's so much excitement, and I'm enjoying the story pacings going on over there.
A couple of weeks ago, I had said I was refiling my papers and I was reactivating my therapy sessions, but I've got a good feeling right now. So, Willie, what's really tickling your fancy or other parts about the Young and the Restless
Tucker
right now?
McCall, man. Seven St. John is killing it. I'm sorry, I adore Ashlyn, but I'm going to say it. Tucker McCall takes over Ashlyn Locke. He is doing things that we wanted Ashlyn to do, kind of like Ashlyn was kind of like trying to be the villain but doing things on the side. But Tucker is doing it where you can see it and you can hear it, and it's making sense in the storyline. So I'm enjoying all of the excitement and all the pacing and all the manipulations. I love how he talks to Ashley, and she's like, yeah, Tucker, yeah. She's like, she doesn't take his bull, but at the same time, she's still attracted to him. So you still see there's still that pull that Tucker has with Ashley, and I love that he knows how to use her to pull the strings. So it's going really good. I'm enjoying all of that.
We spoke about social media thanks to our Candace, and a lot of folks when the announcement was made. Oh, cool. When the announcement was made, a lot of folks were saying, okay, this is going to be Victoria's new love interest, et cetera, et cetera. I have to say the chemistry between him and Eileen is off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
I am so feeling
Oh, my God.
The only thing
that
could make it better for me, oh, my God. I am literally like, homina. The only thing that could make it better for me is if they would throw a Tracy triangle into it. Let him have something that he feels for Tracy too, and do that sister thing. It's been years since they've done it. It's time to go back to that. Let him have a little feeling for Tracy too, and let the cat fight begin.
Well, there was supposed to be some little rumblings that Trevor could be for Sharon. But I found out that through some rewrites that what's going on with the changes, because you all know that we got Michelle Morgan now as recurring. So that changed a lot of the dynamic of storylines because she was supposed to get back with Billy within like the next couple of months. But because of that, and there's nothing wrong with her choosing to be recurring. It just means that the stories have to change a little bit in pace. You can tell by the way the stories are, they kind of like shifted real quick. So Karen still gets a new lover. It just won't be who people expected, but that'll still be interesting. But I can't tell you.
I know who it is.
There's a wedding coming. There's a wedding coming, and it's an unexpected couple nobody saw coming.
All right. I got to ask this question to my girl because we have been talking about this on and off for, I would say, at least 3 years. Girl, are you there? Are you back, Candace?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Devon and Abby.
Abby.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Is it going to happen? Is it really going to happen?
Okay, here's my thing.
Well,
right now, this is the thing. I've noticed what they've been doing, and I'm okay with this if they follow through with it. Because the fact that Chance and Abby right now are not on the same page. Chance is over here doing his thing, and Abby is over here doing her thing. And I think the Tucker thing has kind of unnerved her a little bit because there is history with Abby and Tucker. I think right now...
And I don't think he has any with her, right, Candace?
Who, Tucker?
Chance doesn't have any connection.
To Tucker? Well...
To Tucker, so that's why he's
yes and no. Well, yes and no, but the thing is that they're not going to play it. It's not as deep as the others. Well, the thing is that Tucker is Catherine's son. So that's his, let me get this right. His son, that's like his uncle, like Chance's great, like uncle in the sense, depending on how you look at it. But it's not, like, there's not a lot to come from it, even though Tucker did do stuff with Joe. So Chance does have some history with Tucker, but not as much as Abby and Devon.
Right.
So,
what I can't stand is the fact that, have you caught it, Candace, and everybody, have you noticed that if Abby was actually happy in her marriage, why did she complain so much about her husband working?
Well, I mean...
Okay, I'm going to step in on that one.
Okay, I was going to do it, but go ahead.
They have to lay ground for something. And if they're laying ground for a full, Abby and Devon are going to go for it, and if that happens fully, then it's going to blow up a whole set of friendships, relationships, et cetera, et cetera. So, the ground has been laid that there's an attraction there, that there's a deep, deep friendship between the two of them. That's all there. So if it hasn't happened already, they got to lay the ground for what was the trigger that if they've held back or if it hasn't happened all this time, there needs to be something that's – so, I'm reading it as that they're laying ground at the moment. And Tucker brings – yeah, Tucker brings his own history, his own, so when and if, and please let it be if, that happens, and it's going to blow a whole lot of relationships beyond, Abby, Chance, Devon, and the whole family dynamic, man. So, just watch the beats that they're laying because they're either red herrings or they're laying the groundwork to explain how these characters have been in each other's orbit. They've been best friends. They've been all of these things and never actually realized, like, hey, I want you. I want to do some swirl up in, in the Egyptian cotton.
Question for y'all for the Y&R segment is, how are y'all feeling the fact of that this whole thing with Lily getting mad at Billy for trying to be helpful and talking to Nate about the situation, about trying to ask forgiveness and try to, start fresh with his family. Do you think that Lily was right to get mad at Billy, or do you think she went too far getting mad at him?
She's doing exactly what she needs to do. I would be mad too.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm loving your opinion. That's what I'm asking. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad Lily took a page out of her mom Drew and gave him a full, got mad at him. That's what she needs to do.
Well, it's not that. This is the thing. When you have family issues and everything, first and foremost, Nate,
you want family to handle it.
Yeah, you want the family to handle it, because the thing is that Nate was trying to ruin something that her and Devon was doing. That was for the family. Yep. You don't go ahead and lie in my face after I fed you, stuff like that. You don't sit in my face and tell me I was going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G to you because of something that Devon and me. No, you stabbed a knife in not only my heart, but also you turned your back on the family. So just for that, I'm done with you. Now, for Billy, who's seen how this operates, because Lord knows Billy has done stuff to the Abbotts and Jack and everybody else.
Right.
The problem is that Billy wants to be the fixture. He wants to do what Jack normally does. If you notice, Billy's trying to do the things John has done, that Jack has done, but the problem is that Lily is like, no. You on my side. Because it's like, again, if Billy tries to do something for Nate, and the way that Lily is seeing things right now, because she's upset, she's pissed off. It's
right.
Like,
she's got every reason to be.
You're on my side, Billy. Like, either you on my side or you stay out of it. And
so here's the thing I'm going to say on that. The one thing that The Young and the Restless does better than any soap on air, and I'm including digital, okay? The Young and the Restless plays their family through lines better than any other soap out there. And we have to harken back to Lily and Devon are Neil's kids.
Yeah.
They grew up with Neil. And so we're seeing Lily evoke Neil's the easiest way to point it out is Michael on General Hospital. The whole, this is not the Sonny, this is the code, this and that. I don't think General Hospital is doing it well at all, and we'll get to that later. But, that's the Neil influence in her. But the madness, the anger in her is her mama. So she's wrestling with both sides of that. But, it's always going to be, Lily and Devon are always, no matter how mad they get at each other, when it comes down to it, it's always going to be Winters over Genoa City.
Yes,
that through line is always.
I love it. Yes, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I love what she told Billy. She told Billy he's feeling guilty for leaving Chancellor Winters. I'm like, thank you, Lily. You finally said it. He's finally not sugarcoating. She's not babying him. And I'm just like, you know what? This is how I feel. It's about time she said it.
It is about time she said it, absolutely. And I'm going to point one more thing out that some folks will be uncomfortable with. But again, this is the world that soap creates. We have a very storied history of Billy not being able to fully follow through, not being able to, he likes the shining. He likes the attention, et cetera, but then when he gets to the role, he can't handle it, and deep down inside, I think that's also what they're trying to show us. Deep down inside, Lily knows it, and she's trying to usher him to where he needs to be without putting too much responsibility on him, because she knows in the end he's gonna crack like he always has. History is the best, foretelling of what's going to happen in the future. And if you look at Billy's history, she has every right to feel the way she does. I gotta say the writing is real good right now.
Oh no,
real
it's really good. That's what
they're
I
on
think
spot
it's
here.
Everybody that for once Lily did not step back and say, "Oh, it's okay, Billy. You did your best and you tried to talk to Nate." I'm like, thank goodness the writing is finally coming out. Lily's finally standing up for herself and not giving in to Billy's charms, and that's what we all wanted since the get-go. I mean, they make a cute couple. Don't get me wrong, but she needs to call him out for what he makes mistakes on. That's what relationships is about, the good and the bad, and not always being on eggshells. And I think that's the problem we saw in the couple is Lily was too much being on eggshells and always having to baby Billy, and that's what we just like, maybe this relationship just isn't going to work.
All right. Well, for the sake of time, let's excuse me. I apologize. For the sake of time, let's jump over to L.A. and talk a little Bold and the Beautiful. We haven't heard a lot from David, so David, why don't you fill us in on the Bold and the Beautiful?
Well, first of all, let's say I think this is a bunch of crap, what's going on. Ridge mainly because he has left Brooke for basically no reason. Well, again. And for Taylor, again. And he is not, and Brooke is like very much up in the air because she does not understand why, and he's not going to tell her. And that's what's irking my jaw. You know how I feel about Ridge. I don't think he's good for either of them.
No.
And I can't see Taylor. Yeah. Why does Taylor want to have him back? I don't know.
Why would you want a man that goes back and forth for other women? I don't get it. I know Taylor and Brooke are strong women, but come on, even the writers can figure something out and do better because this is not, these women deserve better. Seriously, you're going to deal with Ridge? That's just a joke.
These women do deserve better, but I think Taylor sees getting truly back together with Ridge will solve problems for both of her children.
Yeah, I can
and
see that.
She'll get the man, and she'll get the man that she's wanted on and off for the bulk of her entire adult life. We do have to remember something, folks. We watch these shows for, in the case of The Bold and the Beautiful, a half-hour a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
But it's based upon the fact that, they are living full and complete lives. We're giving clues as to what's going on off screen to supplement what we actually see on the screen. We're supposed to suppose a lot of what's happening that we don't get to see because there's 24 hours in a day, and we only get to see them for a half hour a day. This woman has wanted him in some form for all of her adult life, and now it seems that her kids' happiness and being able to move forward in life also depend on whether or not they find their way back together. So, on Taylor's end of it, I'm completely, I understand. I'm on board.
Yeah,
I don't think they should be a couple. But I understand it completely.
I feel bad for Taylor. Yeah.
Brooke, I don't understand because I'd be like, you know what, Ridge, I'm Brooke.
Brooke's gonna be fine. She's got every man in Los Angeles wanting her. I swear, that proposal, everybody's like, "Are you kidding me?" It's like, oh my God, I loved it because it's typical Brooke. She's gonna get that rose from some guy. It doesn't matter who it is from Los Angeles. Don't worry about Brooke. She manages to land on her feet.
I mean, let's break it down for a second. First off, the actress herself, Catherine Kelly Lang, she's gorgeous. She's got a presence. There is something about her that pulls you in. Love her or hate her. When she's on screen, the dynamic. But besides that, she's Brooke Forrester. And no one's ever spit that I know of. Candace, correct me if I'm wrong. No one's ever spit in someone's face actually on camera in soap opera history. But I would spit in his face and say, don't ever come back for a little Forest of Punani because the door's closed, the gates are locked, and I'm building a privacy wall. You ain't never coming back.
I hope she doesn't let him back.
Okay, so as somebody who can't stand Ridge, seriously, can't stand. Like, it's to the point where, all right, you don't believe Brooke, okay? So what do? Oh, wait, Ridge, you like to run back and forth because you did this when you saw Bill and Brooke and you ran to Shauna, got married. You did this when you kissed Quinn. You did this to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay.
He's been doing this since Caroline. He's been doing this his whole entire life.
But it's gotten worse between
his entire life.
Brooke and
Yes,
Taylor.
girl, yes.
And to me, my thing is that Taylor, honey, it's nice that you came back. But one of the reasons you were gone was because you didn't want to see Ridge and Brooke together. Baby, we got some issues we need to talk about and sit down. Brooke.
Yep.
Honey, you are Brooke Logan. Look, before you was a Forster, you was Brooke freaking Logan.
That is true, girl.
Chemist. You was a chemist who came up with belief, okay? Don't forget that. Don't ever forget that. You are a smart, intelligent woman. Both of you guys are. But to allow Ridge to play with you, and look, all jokes aside, this is mental abuse.
Yeah.
This is emotional abuse all the way around. And the fact that your daughters and little Steffi, I got some words for you too. But the thing is that Ridge, you are you're just wrong for all this because we all know what's going to happen. Once the truth comes out, you're going to be like, Taylor, I just don't think it's right for us because I was told a lie. But
Ridge,
my God, it's so
disgusting.
We have forever. I want this beach house. Like, we need this and everything. And then he runs back to Brooke. If I was Brooke, like you guys said, I would have guard dogs. I would have pepper spray. I have pepper spray in a drink so you can taste it. I would have security, real high guard. With Taylor, you need to channel all that energy and buy yourself some protection too. Like, neither one of you guys need to allow Rich to come back. And this is the final. This would be the final thing for me because, all right, Brooke, you're so and it's interesting because Rich is again, they're suffering from emotional. I'm not going to say physical, but it's mental, emotional abuse. And Brooke clearly showed that when she was constantly crying and she was telling Bill, "You can't be here. You can't da 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 da." All right, I know people have been saying stuff about the writing, but I got to credit that writing because that was a throwback to the very beginning of Bold and Beautiful when she was. That was such a. I picked up on that. Now the thing is that I've been saying it for a while. I'm not taking anything to heart with Bold because I have a funny feeling we're gonna get through. And by the way, I don't know nothing, but I'm just looking. I'm like, it's one heavy sided of the storyline, and it's mainly Steffi and Taylor. Because I'm like, okay, Brooke is crying, she weeping. Taylor got the happy ending, quote unquote. Steffi's wants this for her mama, but Steffi, you wouldn't want this for your mama. You, of all people, know how it feels.
Okay, wait right there, Candace, because I have to step in right here. Exactly. Okay. You, of all people, who have been locked in the triangle with Hope and Liam, you found your Finn, et cetera, et cetera. You, of all people, especially that you found the redemption or whatever you want to call it with Finn, that you broke out of it all and realized that there is life outside. Yes, there is life outside of that cycle, but you want to throw your mama? You want your mama to accept scraps?
And Thomas.
She does.
And Thomas is a whole different breed.
But wait, Candace, look at the way it's playing, though. Thomas is basically shadowing Steffi. And then he takes it to a fun little quirky kind of level, but Thomas is not originally thinking. He's shadowing Steffi.
Right. And that's what makes me think that there's something. There's like, me personally, I said this from jump. I feel as though this is not the real Bold. This is not like there's certain things that's really happening, but I don't believe this is the reality that we're seeing. I believe this is somebody.
It's the missing element. Missing element. And also, I want to add that don't forget Stephanie called it when she, from the get-go, she told Ridge that Brooke Logan is not the love of his life that he thinks that she is.
And that's when I would be like, little girl, you have seen Brooke in my home, around this office, for years. Don't act like this is brand new.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brooke has been a little bit.
I'm laughing. Ken, do you remember what Quinn told Brooke when they were fighting? She said, Stephanie should have taught you how to slap better.
and then see, if I was Brooke, I was like, this is what I would have been like if I was writing the show, and I would say to me as Brooke says, and ask Stephanie where she is right. Well, here's the thing, and I would have said to Brooke, as Brooke to Quinn, ask Stephanie where she is right now. Have a nice day. Because Brooke still stood. She's still standing. I don't care what anybody says. Brooke is still standing.
Did everybody watch today's episode? Did you watch today's episode, everybody?
I didn't
watch
watch
today's. I saw bits and pieces of it.
Okay, then you kind of get a hint of
did.
What the question is what was your reaction when you saw the return of a certain item?
Let me just say this. Probably perhaps one of the best freaking performances came from that scene today. Thank you. Y'all know that's one of my favorite props too. So, but no. Here's the thing. This is what I'm going to say.
Wait. Is Stephanie's portrait back?
Did your jaw drop when you saw it?
No, we're talking about the mannequin.
No, wait a minute. No.
The whole mannequin.
David,
I wasn't trying to say.
We must. David,
go ahead.
He didn't see it today.
No, don't worry.
That's why I was trying to walk
I'm still going to watch it either way.
I was going to walk around it.
Yeah, we still
Who found it? Who found the mannequin?
You gotta wait and watch. You gotta watch it.
We're not going to spoil it for you. I was trying to walk around it. I was just trying to see what y'all's reaction was when you saw it.
I was just going around it. No, but in all honesty, like.
All right, Candace, it's out of the bag. What was your reaction? Did your jaw drop, or you're like, oh, not again?
I was like, oh Lord.
Right?
Oh Lord.
Right?
That was mine.
Okay, all right. Y'all can't do this to me.
That's what Thomas is.
Y'all can't do this to me. Did somebody find the mannequin and now he's got to explain stuff, or was he back talking to the mannequin like it's a person?
Candace, take this one.
No, she dropped again.
Uh-oh.
Okay, go ahead, David.
All right.
You tell him what happened with the mannequin.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Willie, what happened with the mannequin while David gets Candace back?
Tell it. I'm trying to see if I can get Candace back.
Well, I didn't get to see who actually found it. All I got to see was because it was acting up over here on my end. But what I did see was that we see the picture of the frame of the mannequin, and I was just like, oh my God, not again! I didn't think they were going to do this again with the mannequin story, but I heard about it, but I really thought it was just a rumor. I didn't think they were going to go with it again. So you'll see, Anthony. Yeah, I'm curious your reaction when you get to see the full scene. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. I can't wait to see. But I do have to say this. Y'all all know that Pearson was, and Adam was Thomas for a very long time, and I love the way that he portrayed. Yeah. But Pearson took Thomas to a place that I was. But Matthew's Thomas. I enjoy almost every moment that Thomas is on screen. He does with the material that's given to him. I mean, think about it. It was COVID, everything that was going on, and
I love that man. I know what you're talking about. I love him. He is magic in a bottle. When he's on screen, you better believe I'm watching it.
And, everybody on this show who listens weekly, bi-weekly, and thank you for all the support for Take Two Radio, for all our listeners. But I love my child actors. And whether it's...
yes, aren't they something?
Henry...
Oh, my God, Anthony, speaking of child actors, you're going to love today's episode. There's a certain scene that's going to melt your heart. And everybody's been talking about it, so stay off of Twitter if you don't want to know.
No, I'm going to watch it right after we're done.
Yeah, you haven't seen it today?
Yeah, your heart's going to melt.
No,
when I
right,
saw
Anthony?
it, I'm like, thank you. The writers are getting it. Between Y&R, Bold and the Beautiful, and Days and General Hospital, I don't know what happened, but the writers are waking up, and the writing is getting strong on all our soaps again. Days has already had it.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the other soaps that were dragging. I don't know if they woke up one day and said, you know what, let's start writing, but that's right, David? It's like all these soaps are starting to be revitalized.
They're trying to wake up, yeah. They have a job to do.
Again.
Yeah, so back to my original point, though. No matter who's playing Douglas, both actors, they have found young male actors that really, really pull, tug at our heartstrings. Both actors who play Douglas,
they do,
are phenomenal. Kudos to whoever.
Actors. They're great.
Yeah, kudos to whoever is casting these young kids. And y'all know, I am absolutely adorably. I want to kidnap her and disappear in Alaska somewhere. I am so in love with Violet. Oh, I love that little girl.
Yeah.
And don't forget to add Connor and Johnny.
Oh, I got to tell you something,
Johnny
Anthony.
From Young and the Restless are killing it over there. Connor and Johnny are the next generation.
Anthony and Will.
I
have to tell you, when you watch today, my heart broke into pieces, and you'll know why.
You're talking Bold.
Yes.
Okay. Oh no. I think I know. Okay.
There's so many emotions.
Well, it's who we were talking about.
I know what you're talking about, David. I literally have my imaginary Kleenex box ready because it's emotional, but it's a very good, like I said, the writing. People can say what they want about B&B, but today, the writers earned their spot. Today, they earned it.
I'll text you, David, after I watch it, but I think I have an idea of why. All right. For, sake of time and moving along, let's go to Salem. And I'll start this one out. Days. Oh, God.
Run.
It's like a roller coaster. I'm with you. I'm on it. I'm going up the hill. I'm feeling it. I got all the butterflies. I drop. And then there's no loop-de-loop. There's no whirly-whirly.
Which story? Because they kind of converge together. I think I get confused.
Okay. I'm just gonna put this out there. I know that they needed to do something to put a wrench in Paulina's campaign.
Yeah.
But no.
I thought it was my ADD because I can't get that storyline. I don't understand it. Between Paulina running for some type of campaign and then her daughter
running for governor.
For the governor.
Oh my God, I'm just so confused.
She's running for governor.
Okay.
Instead of Abe.
And then something happened with Chanel, right? Chanel's past.
And now we have Chanel is a potential murderer. She did something in college. Look, okay, I'm sorry. They had a gold mine of a storyline queued up. What they should have done is they should have had Chanel regretting her decision between Allie and Johnny, and the whole night with Alex should have been, oh, my God, this is the one, meaning either Allie or Chanel. Either way, it would have been. But they threw that storyline away just to have a sensational moment where they did the threesome and even gave it to us on screen.
I agree.
And then they threw it away. And then they threw it away for this Paulina whack Chanel. Nah, I'm
okay. I'm going to add, why on earth would Allie and Chanel, of all people, why on earth would you invite someone like Wendy Lee to live with you? She's a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they inviting strangers to their home?
Oh, my God. Yes, thank you.
My God,
I
wanted to jump something out the window. Why are the writers making Chanel and Allie look – you know I'm not an Allie fan, but on this one I am going to support the women. Why are they making them so idiotic? Come on, they're strong women. They should have better thinking. Like, why are you inviting a stranger to your home? She's no connection to you. You owe her nothing. I mean, she could steal stuff from you, and I'm sorry, but that's for you because you moved her in. Like, why?
And you've got a kid in the mix. And you've got a kid in the mix.
Stupid. I'm sorry, Ron. I love you writing, but this is an epic fail. I was like all the other fans. Like, what the TH is going on?
David?
I don't know. I don't know what the...
Did we get Candace back, by the way?
No.
No, I guess not. Okay.
Her phone is still charging.
Oh, my God. I swear. My anxiety went up on that one. Like, Johnny invites
my question
girl.
is... Yeah, my question is Sloane's client already on the canvas?
Yes.
You think?
I do believe so, yes.
You think it's a he or a she? Because I couldn't make out. But what do you think?
I believe it's a she. I believe that she's already on canvas, but I believe that she's someone that we see off and on that will come in for an arc and be here, often, and then fade away once the storyline is done. More in 2 weeks because I actually have something to break on the next show that's going to be very, very juicy in the world of Days. We are going to embark on a storyline to rediscover someone that has been lost to the Days universe for a long time, that's connected to a character on canvas that will end up being connected to this storyline.
To Paulina's
storyline. I'll give you one little hint. No one in the DiMera family is ever really dead. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
But I've got major news to bring on our next show.
With Marlena? Why is she living with Marlena and John? I don't understand it.
Why does Kristen want to live with them?
No, why is she living with them? Isn't she living with them as well? Is that the understanding right? When I saw her on today's episode, where she's with Marlena
Grady,
in the room?
Kristen, and Rachel are living with John and Marlena.
Oh my God, these characters. Okay, I know that they're trying to be a family unit, but I don't understand why doesn't Kristen have her own place? I don't get it. They're not married. But okay, I get it. They're doing it for a family.
Yeah, they're not married.
Okay,
but
I get it now. Okay, family unit.
But that makes sense. That's
okay.
what she wants. Kristen wants to invent the perfect family.
Yeah. Okay, I was getting confused. I got to tell you, though, I am loving today's theme. Did you guys watch today's episode?
I
didn't watch it all today.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched. Okay, but you got to see the little part, right, Marlena,
with, what is it, Rachel? Where she's eating the pumpkin. She's eating the cake or something that Rachel pancakes. And she's just, like, so cute with Rachel. Oh, my God. I swear I love Deidre Hall. I just love her as Marlena Evans. She is so sweet and heartwarming. Those moments will touch your heart. I just love that with her when she spends time with the grandchildren. Marlena is just the best.
Yeah. You match anyone with you have anyone acting with kids, and it's an honest performance because they know nothing else.
And then it's cute because Kirsten told Rachel, it'd be really good if you go get Grandma Marlena some jelly, and she got her all excited, so she went to the kitchen, and that's where Kristen's getting ready to tell Marlena something, and Marlena gives her this look like, oh, please, don't even try. Marlena, oh my God, she does not play around with Kristen. She's ready for another round. I swear, I just love that woman.
And I got to add to you, Anthony.
Yes,
because I like the children too. Little Holly. Oh my God, she just breaks my heart.
Yes.
The one they have. I don't think she's too keen on Rafe. I think she prefers Eric more. But
are they showing Parker? Are they showing Chloe's son anywhere? Parker?
No, they haven't shown Parker.
Oh, okay. I was wondering because I know Jonas is dead, so I'm like, where's her son at? Explain that. That's kind of weird.
I know. Anthony, what do you have to say about that?
At least General Hospital, gave us the idea that Liz's kids were locked up in Grandma Audrey's attic. At least we got an explanation of where the kids were. I don't like that, Days will drop the idea of kids for weeks, months, even years, and then all of a sudden they come back and they're supposed to be a major part of, a big canvas, the storyline, et cetera, et cetera.
It doesn't
having
make
said
sense.
that,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense. Having said that,
Wynard didn't do that either. Wynard's very specific about where their kids are, so that's you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, it's Bowles and Days that play fast and loose with kids. I'm still in. I'm intrigued. I'm really, really pissed off that the payoff from the Jennifer, running over Gwen, it was red herring. Everything that they put out on social media led us to believe something else. I'm not mad at how it. I'm not mad at how it turned out as far as, one of the major characters didn't actually die. But I'm a little pissed off at the resolve of that whole storyline. The rush to get rid of Clyde, Nancy, et cetera, it could have been done in a better way. I think Days is in transition right now again, and I'm waiting to see. I'll be the first one. I've never been a fan of Justin and Bonnie, yet the dynamic is cute and it's starting to grow on me. Anything that keeps Robert Scott on canvas, now that he's Alex, that's growing on me. When he first debuted as Alex, I really wasn't feeling that either. Why did they even bother to bring Will back? I'm just going to say that. Greg Riker.
And then for him to get another job to leave again, that made no sense at all.
Exactly. Why'd you even bother to bring him back? There was nothing that pushed that storyline anywhere.
No, I'm a Will and Sonny fan, but they could have done better. I mean, if they wanted to separate, if they really wanted to do that, they should have just let Sonny find somebody in Salem, cheat on Will, and move on, because this is just ridiculous. What kind of husband gets a job and then wants to leave again and another job? Yeah. It made no sense at all. That was just easy.
Honestly, what they should have done is, he should have remembered on his own, and he should have had a quest to save Leo, even though all of what Leo had done to them in the past. Sonny has that righteousness in him. He couldn't allow Leo to go down for something that he didn't do, and then spark some feelings and will say, I've got this job, you work this out, I'm going, we'll figure it out, and play it off that way. I'm so very disappointed in the Will Sonny. Why bring him back? It did nothing. There was no reason to bring him back at all.
No, it didn't do nothing. It was empty. before you go to GH, I just wanted to add that I love how they got Leo. I love how Leo flirts with Chad any moment, any chance that he gets.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Leo is comical. And he's fun to watch. But I will say this.
I am very glad.
The way he flirted with Chad and told him that he loved Chad's eyes, I thought that was the cutest thing.
Yeah. I honestly want to see Leo and Xander team up somehow. Not in a romantic way. I know he got him in bed. But I think the two of them,
kind of like
Paul,
Bonnie and Clyde, but as guys. I gotcha.
Yeah. They both have that comedic. They can both play serious and comedic. They would play off each other so well, and they've both been scorned so many times. It would be such a great storyline to play out.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of in a holding pattern with Days. I was really after they vanquished the devil and things started to kind of get back to normal as far as that storyline was concerned, I really thought it was going to heat up other storylines in ways that never happened. And we're in a bit of a holding pattern. I'm going to wait and reserve judgment for another couple of weeks, especially, we're going into November, and they're already building what's going to be the sweeps. If it plays out the way I think it's going to play out, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a good amount to talk about, Dave. So with that said, I think it's a great...
for you.
Yeah.
Is the rumor, and you can just clarify because I heard about it, but I hope it's not true. Are we done with the Devil storyline, or is it true they're going to revisit it one more time?
No.
Because I heard something about Chloe getting possessed.
Nope, we're not done with it.
Okay.
There's going to be two more possessions, from what I heard.
Already?
Okay, then
again?
What I heard is true. That's what I thought. Yeah, because I keep hearing about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, from what I've heard, the devil is laying dormant in a character, and it's not Chloe. The devil's laying dormant in another character, and is going to come back and ultimately have to jump into Chloe for some dramatic reason.
Oh my God! I'm not looking forward
to into Chloe.
Is this going to happen during November sweeps?
Yep. That's why I said in 2 weeks we're going to have a lot to talk about.
I know. I was worried about that. I was really hoping
into Chloe?
that we have something a little more than just the devil storyline for sweeps month. But I kind of expected it at the same time, so I get you. What's happening over at General Hospital?
Wait a minute. No, we're not going to GH yet. Let me direct, please. There's more I want to talk about in days. Good. Now I'm off my rocker. Good. All right. So, what do you think? What do you think about Stephanie? And do you think she was just a filler for Abigail?
I think it'll be a fun triangle between Chad and Alex. No, I don't think it's just filler. I think there's a lot more meat to play there.
I'm hoping that there's a little more to develop within her, because on the surface, this is just from my point of view, I don't know if you see it, but on the surface I see it, she's acting just like a replacement. But I am glad that they didn't jump. Chad stopped what he wanted to do with
before
her.
Because
he knew it was too soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm happy about.
I'm going to tease this. There is going to be a very major, you didn't see it coming, shake up in the DiMera family dynamics, the DiMera company dynamics, et cetera, and Stephanie is going to play heavily into that. And in a secondary way, so is Alex. So it's going to be very interesting. The end, and that's going to be ushered in at the end of November sweeps, taking us into the new year.
Taking us into the new year.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
What
do you think about
a good direction with the Stephanie and Alex? So yeah, remember because Alex was helping Stephanie with the Sloan situation. I can see that's going to make Alex and Stephanie share a little bit of a closer bond. So that's interesting.
And then something's going to happen DeMero-wise that she's going to be torn. Alex is going to have some information, et cetera, et cetera. Trust me, it's going to get juicy, and it's going to get juicy in a good way. I'm interested, and I'm not worried about Stephanie, Alex, Chad, that whole set. That storyline is going to be good. The Paulina daughter, Chanel, Al, those storylines, I'm like, where are you going with this stuff? This, A, it doesn't make sense. B, it's like stupid. No, but Dave obviously made a huge investment in Robert, and trust me, it's going to pay off coming into the new year, big time.
Oh,
yes. So, what do you think? How they can build up Sloan a little more? She's got something, but she's a little one-dimensional. Do you think they should keep her that way? Is there more coming for her?
Sloan's going to get killed. That's my prediction.
She is.
Sloan's going to get, yeah. If they were building her to be a permanent player, they would have given us more cross-pollination. She'd be involved in something else. The fact that they're keeping it so one note, she's probably going to end up being a victim of something for some reason. Willie, what do you think?
With Sloan, I'm thinking we're going to kind of see the unexpected. So I think there's a twist coming in that situation.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's check back in 2 weeks and see if we feel the same way.
Oh, I just want to add, for you as the World Trust
Go ahead.
Let's congratulate Jesse Lee Sofer. He's returning to Chicago PD as the director.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Oh, that's very nice.
And
you
it's
just
a
want to
perfect
step
segue,
out of the
actually.
limelight.
Yeah,
it's a perfect segue to transition to GH because Rory is just put on contract with Chicago.
Yes, did you see him on there? He did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did
and
get
he
it.
just signed a contract, so he will be leaving GH shortly.
And they have him on recurring right now. I think I read it the other day that he's been dropped to recurring. So that must mean. Well, can they still let him recur even though he's on contract?
Yeah. Yeah, it
really
depends on shooting.
Yeah,
it depends on shooting schedules and things.
Yeah. But it's also about story, too, that if they don't have a good story for Rory on GH, they might just let him go, or you never know, the hook could kill him.
Oh, that
well,
damn
hook. The thing, I hate to say this, but I would not be surprised if we find out that Rory dressed up as a female actually ends up being the hook killer.
People are thinking that too.
He's with Trina right now.
Yeah, it would make sense.
If
to
he's
a degree,
dressed up as
I don't know
woman.
why he would go after Sonny. Why would I know that they're saying the hook killer is supposed to be targeting not just Trina's loved ones but Sonny's? If Rory was the killer, what is his connection to Sonny? Why would he go after Sonny's loved ones?
He wouldn't
because there's a lot of speculation.
Because Brando was just accident.
Yeah, because remember the original
right?
target was Jocelyn. And that was the original target.
Jocelyn.
Right. So that goes back. Why would Rory attack Jocelyn? Do you think he's brainwashed by Victor?
Well, there's a lot of speculation out there that there's a lot of speculation out there that Sonny might not only have one child floating in the ether that he hasn't known about up until, now or soon to be, but that there may be two children in the ether that will end up being Sonny's progeny. Wouldn't it be interesting?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I heard about the other one. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm really not surprised. I'm not surprised on that one at all, but I've always said this since Rory came on. I don't know why, but my gut said Brenda.
Okay, yeah, I thought Brenda too, but then the other one I thought of, if they don't bring Brenda back like they wanted, I was thinking maybe the other person that they could go with is Lily.
Nope, Lily's the other one.
No, because she died before, right?
I thought she was alive. Lily, I thought she was alive. Didn't she survive or go somewhere out in off screen?
No, she died in that explosion.
According to what we know, according to what we know, she died. But it's General Hospital. I mean, no one's ever died.
Right, anything can happen.
The speculation out there is that
too.
Dex.
I thought that too.
Dex.
I thought when we saw Rory, I thought he reminded me of Brenda with Brenda. Isn't Brenda's son named Alex? Is Brenda's son named Alex?
Alex.
Yeah. I think so.
Alex. A-L-E-C. Yeah. That Brenda Barrett vibe when I saw Rory. So I'm like, please let him be Brenda's son.
The speculation, which I
Anthony,
actually
what
agree
was
with.
Him? Theo.
I'm sorry, what?
What was? Oh, I can't think of the name of that guy that she was involved with. His son.
Oh, the Balkan.
Brenda was involved with his son.
The Balkan.
The Balkan.
The Balkan. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the grandfather.
And don't forget, there was a time period where we thought that he was Dante's son, who is the son of Sonny. So,
And what happened to the other guy? Brenda's baby daddy. What was his name? Was his name Alec as well?
So
what
my
happened to
speculation
Alec? Did he get killed? Yeah, that's where I get confused.
My speculation on all this is that Vanessa will actually come back to the show when Maurice is fully ready to retire. And they're going to send, because Laura Wright isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So they can't, the only way to send Sonny off with a happily ever after is to bring Brenda back and have her, usher him off canvas.
Exit story. Yeah, exit story. I get you.
I know.
How are y'all feeling about Carly and
so
Drew?
sad.
Are you cool with it?
What?
Are you cool with Carly and Drew?
I'm a little more cool with it now than I was a couple of weeks ago. I still don't really feel the burn for them.
I hear you.
But I do.
I
think
hope
this
is
dynamic.
The beginning of something.
So let's pivot for a second. I'm really tired of the crypticness between Mason and Austin.
Yep.
Enough.
I want to know what that is.
I don't even care anymore. Yeah, I don't care about that no more.
I don't care about that very much at all. I'm tired of it. I love Roger as an actor. I love him to death.
Yes, I do.
But it's clear they just brought Mason on to be an eye candy, and that's it. The women drool him over, but there's no story for him. There's no depth. So I don't get the character. I don't know what he's around for.
I had a feeling before Britt signed her contract with Station 19, I had a feeling that it was going to go in a triangle in that direction between Britt, Cody, and Mason. But
that would have been fun.
I don't know.
Or you mean Austin?
No, I think actually between Britt, Cody, and Mason, because they flirted.
Mason,
right,
Austin.
Mason, Austin's cousin. Yeah. They flirted with that chemistry the first time Britt walked in on Austin and Mason talking. They flirted with that chemistry, and then like a week later, we got the news that Britt was going to go back to recurring status because she's on Station 19 now. So I think that they're pivoting and trying to figure out what to do. I also would not be surprised in the least if this whole, whoever this woman is that's pulling the strings of Austin and Mason has something to do with Cyrus. Why are they bringing Cyrus back now? For what?
Remember, Laura's returning, so it's going to all come
Jeannie's
together.
set to come back, right?
Yeah,
Jeannie's set to come back. And let's not sleep on Lydia Wu.
No.
First off, just sidebar moment, Lydia Wu is probably the best addition to the cast of GH since, Catherine, what's her name? Kathleen as Dr. Obrecht.
Right.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Selena Wu. Love her. I hate her, but I hate to love her, so I love her.
Oh, yes. I love her.
You hate to love her.
Oh, and shout out to General Hospital. You actually brought Love in the Afternoon back today. 3 couples made love today.
I did not see today's episode.
Oh,
yes.
But
so we won't tease.
There you go.
Stop
There's
teasing Anthony Will.
Today on TH. The fans are loving it.
Just give me this. Is one of the couples Britt and Cody?
No.
Okay. Okay. And now here's my next thing. I have been reading, paying attention to all of the press out there. I have been waiting for, what is it, about 20 years now to figure out why the hell Elizabeth has no contact with her parents. If this is going to be a one and done, 1 or 2 days worth of scenes and we're over with, I'm going to be so
No. Anthony, that's a good question. No, when you get to see on the preview that Liz is going over to Monterey. When she goes there, she's going to have a reunion with her parents.
Right.
And that's where her past is going to come out about her, whatever happened in the past is going to trigger her. And that's supposed to be more than 2 episodes that I was told. So it's going to be a good storyline. It's supposed to be more than 2 episodes. That's what I was told.
Well, if they can spend weeks having and honestly, I'm not disregarding. I'm in different opinion than most of the fans out there. I absolutely loved the Jacksonville storyline with Carly. Loved it. That they flew Bobby in for just 2 scenes annoyed the crap out of me. I enjoyed it. Linda Pearl was awesome on there. Linda Pearl was awesome, and I think we've always needed that closure with Carly to fully go back and understand, why did she come to Port Charles in the first place, et cetera, et cetera. If, the rumors out there are true and we're going to see a resurgence of Reese, I'm going to be pissed off, but that's okay. We'll see how it plays out. But I absolutely love what it did for Carly. And honestly, that's what turned the tide for me with Carly and Drew. I don't feel fire with them. I don't. But
I'm excited for Carly when she changes her name.
You
that's
see a potential.
I see a potential.
You see a potential.
So that's going to be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. What I hate, General Hospital, what's his name? Not Ron, the other one. Executive producer, Frank.
What?
Frank. You have done this to us 3 different times now with Robert Scorpio. You teased us with such chemistry between him and Diane. Like you teased us with such chemistry between him and Olivia. Like you teased us back. I can't remember her name, but there was another one that Robert was into about 4 years ago. And then you bring back Holly. And now, granted, I absolutely love Miss Emma Samms, and I am so glad whether she's Holly or her psychopath sister, and then the real Holly will come back, somewhere trapped with Luke. I'm fine with that. But why did you have to tease us with Diane right then and there, only to tell us it's not going to happen because Holly's back?
I got a quick question. Holly have a twin sister called Paloma? Because I don't remember that.
Holly's sister's name is Paloma, yes.
It's
an Anna Alex Devane situation.
Okay, I didn't know
she is a twin?
twin sister. Okay.
Yeah, Holly has a twin named Paloma.
Okay, this is intriguing. I love this.
Okay.
Just to backtrack,
so my question is...
Now you both...
Wait,
hold on, because I have a question real quick. You both know I'm blind.
Yep.
So there's been a couple of sequences in the last couple of days that have been music and visual only with no dialogue. Have we seen anything of Lucy after the shots?
No more after the shot.
So all of those musical breaks were Holly going through the lake or whatever. That was Holly?
Yes, that's Holly.
No, that was Holly. Yes. I thought it was Lucy too at first, but no, it was Holly that landed in the Quartermain pool house.
Yeah,
that Willow was screaming
at.
Good
question. How did Holly know to go to the boathouse at the Quartermain? They're asking, is it Holly or is it Paloma? This is where I'm...
It's Paloma.
I get it. I know it's Paloma. No, that's what I'm saying. I love that the fans are playing like a mystery game. Is it Holly or is it Paloma? And the way I'm looking at it, the way she's acting, I'm like, okay, no, this has to be the other girl.
Okay, and my second question is Alex Devane really dead? Or has she been working with Victor all this time?
You know, that hasn't been brought up. They haven't even mentioned her, but there's a lot of thing because they said that footage looked like Anna shooting her. And we know Anna wasn't there. So they have not brought Alex's name up.
But am I remembering wrong? Isn't Alex actually dead?
Yes.
Who?
She died. Anna killed her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, but no one's ever dead. No one's ever dead.
No one's ever dead.
So okay. Now here's my second question. It's not a question. It's just an observation. Soap operas play fast and loose with everything: medical, lawyer, police procedure, this and that. But I mean, hello. She literally ran into Victor right after the shot. She didn't go nowhere. Why didn't they test her hand for gunpowder? Why didn't they test? How can she possibly have changed her clothes, gone all the way back to her car, which was nowhere near the dock, stashed it? I mean, come on.
You know what? I want to give a shout out. I loved it when Sam. I loved it when Holly saw Victor. She goes, "Allow me to give you an introduction," and she slapped him. That made my day.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Yeah, it was nice. I'm dying to see how this plays out. I know that they worked with her as much as they could, and I know that she's back home now.
Okay, so
Emma's
here's the
back
thing.
home in England.
She's scheduled to come because remember someone tried to call Holly and she blocked the number to go through. I think it was on her phone or Robert's phone. Remember? Anna was calling Robert and she blocked the call.
That was Anna calling Robert. Yeah. No, so she's scheduled to come back and film. We're not done with Holly. She's scheduled to come back and film again. And I'm telling you, we're going to find the real Holly with Luke.
Wait a minute. You said the real Holly.
Mm-hmm. I don't think this is Holly. I think it's Paloma. And I think we're going to find the real Holly with Luke.
I agree. I'll join you on that wager. Yeah.
Okay.
No wonder why you were talking about that. Sorry, I'm slow in that.
No, it's not Holly. It's either Paloma or it's Holly that's been completely, mind melded with Andre / the other doctor. What was that weird doctor's name? The mind melding. Something's going on. That's not the real Holly.
You know how I picked up it's not Holly? Because when she showed up at the boathouse and Robert was excited, asking her twice, is it you? Is it you? The way she kind of slightly asked him, where's your car? It just picked up to me like, I'm getting a vibe this isn't Holly. I think it's too of a big coincidence that she's actually at the boathouse at the Quartermain, and she's automatically stirring it up with everybody, kind of like a distraction. Hey, Holly's alive. But what if Holly is alive, but it's not the Holly that we know of? That's where I'm getting the vibe.
Yeah. And if Lucy is truly dead, I may have to sever my ties with General Hospital forever. I'm sorry. If Lucy's dead, I'm going to have a huge problem. But let's segue for a little bit. Is anybody else so damn tired of waiting for the true parentage of Trina to come out?
Actually, to be honest,
yes,
no,
I am.
I don't care anymore. Now that I know that it's going to be Curtis, I don't care about that story anymore because Curtis acts like a crybaby, so I'm over that.
I'm still hoping that it's all and Taggart's really her father, and this is all in Portia's mind. I hope it's not Curtis. There's too many paternities out there. We still got one to solve. There's still a maternity that has to be solved yet, and we don't need another one. So I'm sort of filled up on.
And that's the other storyline pivot I wanted to go into. Okay, cute little return for Esme. Great. Absolutely amazing scenes between her and Ryan Lindstrom. Not bad between her and Marcus Colonna, a.k.a. Nicholas as well. But, okay, I'll say it this way.
Yep.
I'm waiting for Ryan to break out. I'm waiting for the showdown. And, again, General Hospital, you've done this to us how many times? If you do not turn this back into a Felicia-based storyline, you will be betraying all of us who have watched either for as long as the show has been on air or at least since the early 80s. You said it twice.
I pick up on that because don't forget, Cody still did the DNA, and remember I kind of hinted to you that things are like what Anthony always says, not everything is as it seems. So keep that in mind.
Cody's father.
Cody. Keep that in mind when you hear Cody's DNA.
Yep.
That's another one. I think Mac. I don't know. I think Mac's going to get all into this, and he'll be let down. And because he won't, it might be that he won't turn out to be Mac's son. And Mac will be
the weird part
Mac will get involved because that's the kind of man he is.
You know, the weird part is I picked up the major chemistry between Maxie and Mason. Did you, Anthony? David?
Oh, yeah.
Maxie and Mason?
Austin, like, she was talking to somebody. I don't know who she was talking to. She goes, "Hi, this is Austin's cousin Mason." And when they were talking to each other, and they were so close to each other, I'm like, damn, Maxie and Mason are another it couple. They just aren't. They're not utilizing them as they should. They're just too busy tying her up with Austin. Austin should be free of Maxie by now.
Okay, and my last.
I don't know what's taking that story long.
I have one more bone to pick with General Hospital, but I will say this. I think the writing is good. It's not great right now, but it has the potential to be great. The writing is good, but there's too many dangling There's too many dangling story stuff going on. But having said that, I do have this bone to pick. It's been well over a year and a half, almost 2 years now. Where is Hayden? And why has there been absolutely no contact with Hayden and her child? There is no danger left for Hayden. So what the hell is going on? Unless she is locked in that room.
Do you think Victor has everybody? Do you think Victor has everybody hostage?
Yes.
Unless Victor has
Victor said that.
Unless she's locked in that room with the real Holly and Luke, then if that's the end game of the storyline, then I'm all on board. Otherwise, you need to do something. You need to do something to resolve the fact that she left her daughter for safety reasons, but there's no reasons other than Victor has her in the room with Holly and Luke that she stayed away now.
Yeah. Yes, because Victor told Nicholas that Hayden had to be dealt with.
Okay, every time he says, kind of hints to me that he's collecting people one by one, and he's holding them hostages. Because if you count down the pattern, it's right there. We got like a scorecard. The first one.
So Willie, are we going to get a hallway with a bunch of doors with initials? HB, LS, Holly Sutton, HS. Yeah, are we going to get a hallway with a bunch of doors with all these people's initials on them?
No. Don't forget another one. I bet you anything. I bet you Victor also has Lucky. Because you remember the other day, Laura, right before she left, she said she tried to get in touch with Lucky. She couldn't reach him. She doesn't know where he's at. He hasn't reached her. I wouldn't be surprised if Victor's collecting everybody for some odd reason. He's got half of Fort Charles.
Thank you for saying that, because you know who he also has? Ethan. Why is Holly avoiding speaking to her son Ethan? Now, I didn't watch today, but I watched yesterday's. Why is Holly avoiding calling her son? Because Victor's got and it's Paloma working. It's Paloma working with Victor.
Paloma is a spy for Victor.
Ooh. And here the hearsay, everyone is thinking that Holly's the hook, and she's not.
I think that's a red herring.
They think Holly's the hook.
At first I thought it was Holly too, but then when I heard about Paloma, I'm like, okay, this is getting good. This is like a scary movie with a twist. I'm loving this. The writers of GH are getting a kudos for me on this. Holly is Paloma, and she's the killer. I can go with that. That means you didn't ruin the character of Holly. It just means you're just adding a little spice to Holly's twin sister, kind of like Alex with Anna. So I'm okay with that.
If Paloma is the hook, then
I think the hook is Rory dressed up as a woman.
Yeah, I would not put it past General Hospital to do a guiding light the way they did with. You remember a guiding light when
Marion Crane?
Yep.
That's what I feel.
The Marion Crane thing?
Hiding some mental issues. Yeah, I still worry about all that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's too good to be a goody. And look how close.
I do enjoy both of yours imagination.
Look how close he's been to Trina. If you pay close attention, every time something happened to Trina, he wanted to what's going on? Where are you doing? Where do you need my help? For a cop, he's not asking me questions. That's too much for one cop to ask about one person. It's like, dude, don't you have a life? No, I think there's more to it than that. I think he's obsessed with Trina. That's just my thing. Because I think this is what's going to bring her closer to Spencer. And maybe Spencer will do a back in the day 80s sort of story where he's going to be Trina's rescuer, and that's how they get to be the it couple. I see it. I see it. The writer in me sees it.
They went away on Comic-Con. They're going to come home. Everything's going to be okay. There's going to be a secondary something, and Nicholas is going to be recently released from Pentonville. He's going to figure it out. No one is, and the thing that's the rub in it all is that he doesn't go to Jocelyn. He doesn't go to his Uncle Sonny. He doesn't even go to his Uncle Victor. He decides to handle it on his own. And that's going to be the rub of the whole thing, because she's going to be my rescuer, my hero, but whatever the collateral damage is going to keep them from being able to say, oh, you're the one, I love you, blah, 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 blah. And there's going to be months more where they work their way back together. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, guys. I guess I fell. My line fell. Yeah, I'm back now. So where were you?
Oh, good.
All right. Well, back. You know what? At this moment, I think we have done a really good job for the last couple of weeks. We had a great interview. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another amazing show. I think we should call it. Thank you to Candace for being with us for the amount of time you could be with.
Anthony and Will, I did want to hear your input on William Moses and Denise Crosby.
Okay, so we've never seen, oh God, what's her name? No, not Caroline. What's her name?
Carolyn.
The mother. It's Carolyn. Okay.
Carolyn Weber.
So we've never seen Caroline. So Denise Crosby, okay, I'm cool with that. William Moses, I think he's a great actor. And I think he can, I think he's a great actor. But, Jack was played by Richard Dean Anderson. They should have tapped somebody from daytime history. Obviously it's not going to be, it's not even recurring. It's a multiple day player situation. They're going to be on for a couple of episodes, maybe even 2-3 weeks, but they're not coming to Port Charles. They're not becoming part of the canvas. I think they should have tapped somebody with solid soap history and made that jump. And when you see that,
who would you have chosen?
Holden from As the World Turns would have been a good choice. There's so many choices. Oh God, what's his name from One Life to Live? Oh my God.
Robert
you know
Woods?
who I'm talking about? No, not Robert Woods. Oh Lord, why is it escaping me now? But there's so many choices from soap set history that they could have said, hey, come play for a couple of weeks. It's going to be great. We got the name recognition, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nothing against William Moses. I do think he's a really, really, really good actor. And he did a couple of episodes of that show, Chesapeake Shores on Hallmark, which I read all the books. The books are better. Yeah. He's a great actor. So, they definitely...
I haven't seen him since The Return of Perry Mason.
Great in The Return of Perry Mason, too. So they got actors that will definitely have the chops, but I think that they should have tried to nod to daytime history.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good, yeah.
I hope they bring it, and I want to see Becky bring it with them. Get it all out. How come you did this to me? How come you did this? I want Becky to go all out. This is for her. We love her.
I'm sorry. I have to say this, and we can revisit this in 2 weeks. Becky Hurst has been the solidity of the show for 25 years now. If they wrap this up in a couple of episodes and be done with it, I am going to be so seriously pissed off.
Oh. Yeah, it should continue on and on. So I'm just, it's piquing my curiosity because...
You know who I would have casted for the role of Liz's father is...
Scott Bryce. He's blonde. Why? I know
Craig
his
Montgomery.
face, but...
Craig Montgomery from As the World Turns.
Oh my God! Yes, that would have been great.
He would have been. He would have been good. He would have been good. Well, I guess we better call it then, guys.
Do you know who I really wanted to be?
Oh, it's fun. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Wait, David, we have a caller?
No, go ahead. What were you saying? We got a minute.
I was hoping that Andrea Evans would be cast as Caroline.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, my God. That would have been ratings right there. That would have been a ratings war.
I thought that would have been such a bonanza. Such a bonanza. All right, everybody, we'll be back in 2 weeks. And I will have a great exclusive for you, and have a great couple of weeks.
Yep.
Good night.
We'll see you soon. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit TakeTwoRadio.com.